I am the narrator. And before this episode begins, Maddie will be talking about one of the very old but yet classic bicycles, the penny farthing. Without further ado, let the show begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maddie, and today we're going to be talking about the penny farthing.
What is it? What does it do?
Now, the penny farthing. This bike was an extremely elegant and expensive bike back in the day when it was first invented and popular to bicycle. Now, because of how cool and luxurious this bike was, the only real group of people that rode this bike were rich men that could afford it. And they even made races off this bike, like specifically for this bike. Alright? And it went on for so long that it finally died and ended in the 1920s. It's kind of close. It's interesting. There was also this group called the Wheelmen, which, if you could guess, it was a group of guys that would ride on this bike, the penny farthing, as touring or racing or some other type of activities that would go on this bike.
Can it do multiple things? Are there any stories of this?
But what is really cool about this bike is the fact that how gigantic this wheel is. I mean, it's almost like unrealistic at this point. That this can actually go off terrain. That's right, we're talking like gravel roads, big rocks, ruts. So you will actually see this bike in the more urban and farm-like areas. You know? And then also, Also, a very interesting thing to know about the bike is who made it. So I'd like to point your direction to James Starley, who is actually known as the father of bikes. That is right, the father of bikes. You know what that means? That means he created so many bikes, different types, that he got a nickname. So, along with the penny farthing, he also created all these different other types of bikes in the 1800s. He was also the man to create and start using ball bearings. That is right. That thing that we put in almost every wheel. Everything that spins. Even in fidget spinners. And he was also the man to create and use rubber tires. That's right, because before that we just had wooden wheels with metal around it. But he decided to make rubber tires, which we also use on all of our vehicles. It's awesome.
What time period was this used? Where was it found?
To my surprise, the penny farthing was not the first bike to be invented. But some of the bikes that were first invented were in the 1860s to the 1880s, which inspired the penny farthing. And some of those were the dandy horse. We have the bone shaker, very nice. The hobby horse and the velocipede. The penny bike, whenever it was invented, it was ridden all over England and France in this period called the safety bicycle. Very interesting.
What is it known as today? Questions?
the era of the penny farthing, the ruling bicycle eventually died in the 1880s and was actually replaced with a different bike, a better bike, which was, get this, invented by James Starling's nephew, John Starling, called the Rover Safety Bicycle in 1885, actually. Now, it is currently 2020, and looking back at the penny farthing, it is more than 100 years old now. Excuse you. Can I help you? More than 100 years old, which is incredible. And all the, well, I guess not all, but some of the wheelmen that I talked about earlier have actually had very good big collections of ancient bikes, which they have actually put into some museums, which is really cool. So you could actually find them, look at it, and be like, wowee, that's an ancient and gigantic bicycle. Alright. So, unfortunately this video has in fact come to an end. There were no questions. My apologies. If you are fascinated by the penny farthing, there are links in the description that go more into detail. But all the information I found about that beautiful bike. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and have a nice day. Good night. Alright, so, you know what happens now. Good old bloopers. Back at it again without the sling. Going in without it. It's okay, it's this arm. If you say it really fast, it sounds like penny farting. Oh my god, is it the penny farting? Alright. Good. Anyways. God, I'm sorry. I feel short. There we go. More accurate. Alright, either more in the urban or farm-like land. That is so weird, though. Okay, imagine, like, the most, stereotypical farmer. I'm talking, like, big boots, just overalls, no shirt, big straw hat with, like, a grass in his mouth, and he's, like, on a very sophisticated bike, just trotting along, like, oh, hey, what's up, Jimmy? Oh, that's so funny to me. Because, like, you would normally see in paintings or portraits or drawings of, like, gentlemen on this bike. But no. Urban. Whatever.
Velocipede.
Velocipede. That's like Velociraptor. Have you seen the Velocipede? Dude. Okay, so you know the penny farthing with a giant wheel. Imagine that, but as a wheelchair. So you got the ginormous wheels just side by side and you're just like, I'm crippled, look at me. I know that's not all of it. Excuse me. I died a little inside. This is the end of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video. This is the end of the video. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Oh oh.